Welcome back, and we're on to day 5 of the hardest SAT questions. I have to say, I've quite enjoyed doing these. I might actually do another set if I can find some more questions. This is not too bad. There's some slightly trickier maths in the middle part, but falls out quite nicely. As ever, pause the video, give it a go. Back in a minute, I'll go through it. Okay, so how do we do? As I said, I think it's a pretty nasty question unless you've seen this sort of question before, but actually there's a clue in the question that gives it away. So let's run through. So first what the question says, the given quadratic function. So that's a big help straight away. It tells you that this is what we sometimes call a hidden quadratic in the UK, or a quadratic in terms of x squared. So if you imagine, what we sometimes do is we substitute, let's say y equals x squared, and this just becomes 54y squared plus 219y plus 105. It's just a technique to help you understand it. You don't need to do the substitution, but some teachers teach you that way. So what does it want me to do? Well, it basically wants me to factorize this equation here. So the first thing I would notice is I can divide 54, 219, and 105 by 3. So let's do that first of all. So I've got my starting equation. Let's divide it all by 3, and that gives me 18, 73, and 35. Now, if I look at the 35, 35 has prime factors 5 and 7, and I cannot divide 18 by 5 or 7, so this is as simple as I can go. So just looking at this now, I can see that k is going to be equal to 3. One thing I did miss out, which just make sure we spoke about it to be clear, so a, b, c, d, and k are integers, so there's no messing around with halves or fractions or anything else. Okay, so far. So let's continue to factorize it down. Now, this one's definitely slightly harder, isn't it? So I'm going to start with what I just spoke about. I know this is 2 brackets, and because I know 35 is 5 times 7, and because the question tells you that a, b, c, and d and k are integers, I know that it's going to be 2 brackets, one with a 5 and one with a 7. Now, if you prefer doing a slightly different method, that's fine, but I do think this is one of these you can have a go with and do by inspection. Now I need 2 numbers that multiply to make 18, such that I can combine them here and here in order to give me the 73. So the factors of 18 are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Now if I jump to 2 and 9, and I think about the number 73, because I know 9 times 7 is 63, and 2 times 5, in other words, I'm pairing these 2 numbers up, and 2 times 5 is 10, and 63 plus 10 is 73. I therefore know that this must be my answer down here. Now, a bit of that, frankly, is experience and having done it a lot and getting used to these sort of numbers, but it is a really nice skill to practice. And it's much, much quicker than trying to do the algorithmic technique of multiplying 54 by 105 and trying to work out the factors. But that will work as well, but a bit messier. So anyway, point is, I have taken my original equation, I've factorized it down to this equation down here, which is in the same format as that given in the question. And so the question says, what is a times b? Well, a times b is 9 times 5, which is 45, and that is my answer. Except it's not, of course, is it? Because I don't know which one's AB and which one's CD. So let's work them both out. So therefore, AB is either going to be 9 times 5, or it could be the other way around, which is 2 times 7. 14 is lower than 45. So the answer to this question on the fourth of these 5 hardest SAT questions is going to be 14. Really nice question, as so many of these have been, that are just showing understanding of what's happening. I would say this is notably beyond what we'd see in a standard GCSE paper. I think this is a difficult question. It could well be on a further maths GCSE, but you would not see this on a standard GCSE. But either way, nice question. If you got there, well done. As ever, like the video, subscribe, and do leave a comment if you've got a comment below. Thanks all.